Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, the cicadas are coming back. Every 17 years, they come back. You got to ask yourself this question. How the hell do they know? There's some weird stuff that goes on in nature, like the monarch butterflies that all end up in the same place in South America. Crazy. But the cicadas are coming back. In 2 months, there's going to be billions and billions and trillions of cicadas popping out of the ground anywhere and everywhere. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I remember Snappy Tomato Pizza, we ran a commercial called Snap, Snap, Snappy Cicada Pizza. It was a big hit. So look out for those cicadas. You know, this bailout, this 1.9 trillion. How can they call it a COVID bill when only 9%, 10% of it involves COVID? It's like, as long as you throw it in and call it a COVID, hey, it's okay, it's all right. I tell you what makes me madder than hell about all of it is the bailout of states and cities that mismanage left and right, and here comes Pelosi and Schumer and company to just give them our money. I'm going to do a special video, I think, for the weekend about taxes and the waste of our tax dollars. No questions for Joe. Joe came out there yesterday. Somebody asked him about the border, and he looked around like this, and they scurried him off. The double standards, I get tired of repeating, but the double standards that go on and on and on. You know, Clyburn says, well, you're not out there just to please the media. Do you talk about isn't transparency important in government? How about Trump constantly? He's going to Marine One, he'd stop and talk to the press. Constantly talk to the media. Constantly interacting with the media. And the media didn't like that. And they accept what Joe Biden is doing. I hate the media. The media sucks balls. U.S.-China. Apparently in a couple months they're going to have a summit in Alaska. You know what scares the hell out of me? You do know that we bought Alaska, Seward, Secretary of State Seward, under Andrew Johnson, following up from Lincoln. We bought Alaska from the Russians. It was called Seward's Folly. Boy, were they a bunch of dumbasses. Turned out pretty good, didn't it? Alaska. Can you imagine us not having Alaska? The importance of Alaska to us? The way I look at it is Joe Biden will probably hand it over to Alaska. He's probably got the deed for Alaska ready to go. Here you go. Would you like to have this back? Yeah, I'll give it back to you. I'm serious. It's kind of scary. It makes me nervous that they're having a summit in Alaska. CNN, MSNBC, all the alphabets, ABC, CBS, NBC, nada on Governor Andrew Cuomo's sixth and latest accuser. I mean, the word shameless is the word that applies to them. I mean, no credibility at all. And they just do it shamelessly. I mean, no integrity. Zilch. You hear about this? Yep. You want to get your transgender surgery, knock yourself out. Now, in the military, they'll pay for it, which means you and I are paying for it. You and I are going to pay for transgender surgeries. Screw that. I mean, I cannot wait for the reversal of all of this bullshit. The question is, how much damage will be done before we get to do the reversal? Piers Morgan, I can't stand this guy. I mean, I can't stand him. Now, do I agree with him on Meghan Markle? Absolutely. And he's entitled to his opinion and all that, but I can't stand Piers Morgan. I just want to say that. I just wanted to put on the record that I can't stand him, even though I agree with him about Meghan Markle. Harry versus William. You know, this is really a tale of two brothers. On one hand, you have William, who, by the way, has come out and said there is no racism in the royal family. William finally has spoken up. Way to assert yourself. We know his wimp father isn't going to do anything. But here you have William, who's married to a gem, has his kids, does his duty. I mean, how do you not like William and Kate, the future of the British crown? And meanwhile, you got this little brother Harry, who dressed up like Hitler, a Nazi all the time, was naked in Vegas, Mr. Playboy, party boy, gets smitten with Meghan Markle. And the rest is history. Do you know what this is all about? You can sum up the Harry and Meghan situation like this. She wanted to be a princess. She plotted to be a princess. And then when she became a princess and realized you are the back seat to Kate, you're not going to ever be Queen of England. She's like, well, screw this. I'll just try to blow this thing up if I want. And you know what? Meghan Markle's another situation. For her to play the race card, she plays the race card so what? Beyonce and these others can rally around her. It's a joke. And I got to ask you this. Who looks at Meghan Markle and sees black? Do you? I don't. Nobody does. I kind of get tired of these attractive mixed race folks playing the race card, like Barack Obama and company. You know, they act like that they're from the hood and they're black and they're victims. It's all bullshit. How do you victimize yourself when you make money in Hollywood, you marry a prince who's got $13 million from his mom, and you live in a $17 million house? By the way, isn't it great that they're freeloaders? They're big freeloaders. They stay at places that somebody lets them live in. I got to ask you this. Meghan, what the hell has she ever done besides appear in a television show? Suits, a show I never watched and nor will I ever watch. Mexico. Mexico is legalizing cannabis. And they say that they're doing this to kind of hurt the cartels, make it legal. Oh, I guess that's going to stop the heroin? I don't think so. By the way, I'm on the record a long time ago when I was at WLW Radio where I joked, but I was kind of not joking either. You know, Mexico has some resources. They got a lot of poor people, but they got vacation spots. They got some natural resources. They all want to come in our country anyway. Why not take them over? Why not just make Mexico a state in this country? Guess the Democrats would love that because who they might vote for. But if they all want to come in, why not just take them over? Matthew McConaughey is considering running for Texas governor. I'd support that. I think Matthew McConaughey would be a great governor. I wouldn't even care which party he ran on. I'd hope it'd be the Republican Party, but I don't care. He grew up in Texas. He went to University of Texas. He hangs out in Texas. He's a Texas born and bred. He seems like a really good guy, level-headed. So good luck to you, Matthew McConaughey. Become governor of the Lone Star State. The CDC manipulated their numbers with respect to kids. Even to this extent. It says that kids only need to be 3 feet apart. They said it was 6. I mean, you see how the manipulation goes? Try to keep those teachers' unions happy. Herschel Walker, U.S. Senator from Georgia, just like Matthew McConaughey, a favorite son. I mean, Herschel Walker is the man. And he's a Republican. Trump's encouraging him. How do you not vote for Herschel Walker, the greatest bulldog of all time? Oklahoma passed a law, which I think should be the law in every single state, that you have some immunity if you run over a violent protester. Stressful, violent protester. I've always said that. You know what? If a bunch of crazies come after my vehicle, I'm running over them. It's their problem, not mine. There ought to be laws like that in every state. How would you like to be in your front yard and a meteorite lands in your driveway? This apparently happened in UK. And in that meteorite was some rare precious metals. How cool would that be to have that kind of luck? Wouldn't that be neat? As long as it didn't hit you. Teen Lambo driver. I don't usually cover these stories, but this one really caught my eye because it ended in tragedy. An 30-some-year-old woman was killed. A 17-year-old kid driving a Lamborghini. What a lifestyle that kid has. But he's been charged now. His life's about ready to get real. But can you imagine giving a 17-year-old kid a Lamborghini? That's really going to help him with his life's journey. Merrick Garland finally gets approved by the Senate for something. He's now going to be our new Attorney General. And I predict he will become Joe and Kamala's wingman, and he's going to be liberal as hell. They always say, oh, he's kind of moderate. No, he won't be. It's going to be hell. Some local news. This sums up the political gangster world we live in. Larry Householder, the indicted Speaker of the House of Ohio, who is nailed for bribes. He and all these people around him, the feds nail him for bribes. He's not the Speaker of the House, but the new Speaker of the House claims he doesn't have the votes to remove him. What? Are you kidding me? That's how deep the swamp is in Columbus. Who isn't voting on Larry House? What does Larry Householder have on those people? Do you believe it? Indicted for massive bribery, and they can't kick him out and he won't resign? Says it all. Boone County Schools. A friend of mine sent me a memo from the Boone County School Superintendent. And you know how we joke about how you can't get COVID, or you can only get COVID walking into a restaurant? You can't get COVID when you're sitting in your spot. We all know these things. Well, how crazy is it? And we know you can't get COVID before 10 o'clock at a restaurant or bar, but after 10 o'clock, if you stayed there, you're going to get it. Well, Boone County schools are open 4 days a week. Because if they went a fifth day, you'd get COVID. Everybody get COVID and die. The kids would get COVID and die. The parents would get COVID and die. The teachers would get COVID. If they went the fifth day, everybody would die of COVID. So they're just keeping it at 4. Because if you go to school 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week, you're fine. You won't get COVID. Fifth day, you die. Willow, I'm going to close on a happy note. There she is, the new puppy representing Bulldog Nation. My wife picked it out. By the way, those of you know that I've shared a lot of pictures of Penny, the golden doodle, who's my daughter's dog, the Angel's dog. This is the same breed. It's a mini golden doodle, and she is so cute. By the way, she's smaller than what that picture looks like. She's a tiny little thing. But she's fun. We now have, my wife and I live alone, but now we have a baby. It's called Willow. I had duty last night, got up at 2:30, got up at 6:30. I worked late, so it wasn't that big of a problem. But we're excited to have Willow. Let's welcome Willow to Bulldog Nation. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury in Bulldog Nation, I have a few favors to ask of you. And I would like for you to do this and spread the word to all of your friends. I would be grateful. We now have a Bulldog Show app. I'm asking you to download it. It's free. You can get it at the App Store, the Bulldog Show app. It's got the black Bulldog logo on it. We also now have the Bulldog Reports app. It's also the Bulldog logo, but it's red. It also is free. Both the Bulldog Show app and the Bulldog Reports app are not only free, they're now available for both Apple and Android. Please download them so you have them on the phone. I want you to be able to check out the Bulldog Show every day and check out our news site every day, which is the best site. I'm telling you, you will start using the Bulldog Reports over all other news sites because you're going to see conservative, libertarian, pro-Trump, and we stay on top of it. Also, major local news. We don't do weather. We don't do sports. We don't do pop culture stuff unless it's big. You're going to love both of these apps. Finally, I would like for you to subscribe to the Bulldog Show on YouTube. We're up close to 5,000 subscribers. Help me get over that. We're going to go to 5, then we're going to get to 10. I will be tickled to death if by the end of the year we get up to 10,000 subscribers. That's the goal. We want to just keep chipping away. It makes me feel good that we're always adding. So please, download the Bulldog Show app, download Bulldog Reports app, and subscribe to the Bulldog Show on the YouTube channel. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Thanks for making my day by supporting what we're doing.